And go. Hey there, everyone. I'm Lynn Hamilton. I'm your lead instructor here at Samson Properties to bring you another interesting class. So this one is the steps to build out a home buyer seminar. You can call it a workshop, you can call it a seminar, you can call it whatever you want, but here is the backstory. Here is the before, during, and after. And let me go ahead and just kind of get started, and we'll set the stage a little bit for you. So, as always, want to give a big thank you and shout out to Cardinal Title. They are the ones that help sponsor these classes. So if you get any value whatsoever from this or any of the other classes you've taken here at Samson, you want to make sure that when you have a chance, be sure to reach out to Cardinal, use them for your transactions, and tell them I sent you. So they'll do a good job. So thank you to Cardinal as always. So here's a couple quick reminders. The front page of your handout, as always, is set up to be kind of a checklist. So I would encourage you to go ahead and have them printed out, 3-hole punched. Oh wait, if you're here in class, you got them 3-hole punched. And put them in your binder so that you're creating out your own customized instruction manual, if you will. If each of the pages are linked with the same number of the slides, so as you're following along, there you have it. Some quick reminders of the class rules. If you've never been to class before, which I can't imagine at this point you've not, but phones are off or on silent, because if not, you know me, I'll answer them. And since I'm mic'd, everybody gets to hear everything. And then I make up stuff, which takes it even worse. I want you to be open to some new ideas. I want you to always give me your permission, be blunt and honest with you, tell you what you need to know, not always what you want to hear. You good? Thumbs up. Excellent. All right, good. With that, hear my heart, forgive my mouth. I've gotten pretty good at catching it and letting you know that something's about ready to fly out of it. So you do have to laugh at my stupid jokes. There you go. All right. And a main thing is I want you to learn something new. At the end of the class, we're going to ask for your aha takeaway. And then more important than anything, I want you to implement what you are learning. So with that, boom, we ready? Give me a thumbs up. So your words of wisdom for today. Are you ready for the pool of an estimated 78 million first-time home buyers to hit the market over the next 5 years? And I just realized I've got a T missing out of there. Okay? But are you ready? Is that a yes or is that a no? No. Okay, well, we're going to give you some tips. So here's, give me a second. I want to go ahead and kind of set the stage of how I learned to do this, why I learned to do this, what the benefit and the outcome was for doing this. So way back in time in San Diego, my real estate partner and I, Carolyn, took on doing the bridal bazaar. Now, spoiler alert, coming up soon is going to be the class on how to do bridal bazaars, vendor fairs, craft shows, that type of stuff. I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts. So that class is coming up real soon. So we were doing the bridal bazaar, and we would literally talk to anywhere from 200 to 400 soon-to-be brides at any bridal bazaar. Now, as a paying vendor, we would get the whole list of everyone who had registered, which ours were large, so it would be anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500. We foolishly committed to doing all 4, which was once a quarter. After the first round, it was like overwhelmed. We would always go to dinner afterwards and kind of go through our, those that signed up for the drawing and, do all that kind of stuff. After the second one, we looked at each other and said, what in the heck have we gotten ourselves into? Because now we had 500 potential inquiries, leads that we needed to follow up on, plus the roster. Now, the beauty of us having the roster is there was no timeline. Most of the other vendors at the bridal bazaar, if they didn't get booked in the next 2 weeks, they lost their opportunity to book them. We had an open end. So we sat back and said, okay, we've got to figure out a system to smooth sail this. And they always talk about running everything through the funnel, and getting the drip out at the end. So we turned to our coaches. At the time, we were both being coached through Joe Stump and the buy referral only concept. And we went to them and said, whoa, how do we handle this? And he looked at us and said, home buyer workshop. And we went, oh, brilliant. So what we did with their help is to put together the home buyer workshop, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys today, how to do it, what not to do, what works, what doesn't, but then how to build the drip system to make it be more effective. So we're going to be going through the before, the during, and the after. You ready? Yeah. Thumbs up? Okay. Now, this is adding just one more piece of the puzzle into your system. Now, if you have, and I'm hoping at this point you have completed the Samson Jumpstart Session 4, where we asked you to identify what are the 4 marketing pillars that you want to specialize in. Many of you said that first-time home buyers was something that you wanted to do. Frankly, I think that's a brilliant option. Why? Because first-time home buyers, I think Donnie talked about it at the last sales meeting, they don't have a previous agent that they've already got a relationship with. So they're new. You are there to guide them through the process. From there, do they typically buy their forever home the first time out? No, they don't. They buy their first home. Then what happens in 2, 3, 4 years later? If you're still in business and if you've done your job, they're ready to sell and buy a bigger house. Mm-hmm. Can we all just go, mm-hmm, mm-hmm? Okay. Mama didn't raise no fool. All right, so this was a brilliant way in which to do that. So as we get ready to start putting this together, here's another great little word of wisdom. You know, I get these little cute little calendars that have got these great little words of wisdom on there. And it says, don't wait until the conditions are perfect to begin. Begin, and the conditions will become perfect. That's like saying, you know, I'm gonna wait here until all the lights from here to home are green before I leave. Guess what? You're staying for a while, because you're never going to know if and when that ever happens. So you just got to jump in, jump on, get going, and GPS will tell you if the roads are blocked, which alternate route to take. So don't wait until you think, oh, I need to have everything perfect. So here are the stats that why this is kind of an untapped gold mine out there. Over the past several years, there was an estimated 68 million baby boomers that were in the home buyer market. Average age for a first-time home buyer, according to stats and reports, is 34 years old. Coming up into the next wave, it is estimated that there are 73 million millennials that are going to fall into that first-time home buyer pool over the next 5 years. So who can do math real quick? What's the difference between 73 and 68? 5 million more. So this is why the timing on this is good. And I love it when Donnie always says, you marry the house and date the rate. Because will rates fluctuate? Yes. Like your blood pressure, they're going to fluctuate. So you help these people get into their first time home, knowing in a couple years when the home no longer meets their needs, they're going to move up. Now, little spoiler alert are connected to when we do the vendors, how to do the vendor events. When Carolyn and I did the bridal bazaars, we jokingly laughed and said, okay, so half will end in divorce, so if they buy, then we have to handle the sell and potentially 2 buys after that. And then several of them will start a family, so the place that they bought no longer meets their needs, and they needed to sell that to move up into something bigger. That actually started happening. Yeah, so we'd get it started, then a couple years later we'd get the call that they needed to sell because they needed to get something bigger, and we did more, you know, baby announcement, you know, showers and fun things for clients because it all paid off. And then when there was a divorce, guess what? We got the selling off in 1 or 2 buys. Can y'all just marinate on that for a second? Okay, not a bad way to go. Same thing, this plugs right into that. Okay, So here is where we're going to start. When you are looking at, okay, where am I going to start and how am I going to build this out? What I want you to start with is, what is your tagline? What is your tagline going to be? Again, it's a first-time home buyer. If you reference back to the video training we did, which is up in Samson University for you, geo-farming. It's one of the first ones I did. There are already 4 messages for first-time home buyers, which means they're currently renting, that are powerful. You don't need 12. You need 4 to be able to repeat. So if you've not watched that class, I would encourage you to go back, watch that one, because this one blends into this one really well. Okay? So you're going to want to find one that resonates with you, but I also want you to ask yourself, whatever it is that you pick, does it give you leverage? Leverage is, once I say it to someone, does it open it up for conversation, or does it take me nowhere? If it doesn't have leverage, the conversation kind of dies. So you want one that will expand out and give you leverage. Now, a couple of the ones that are perfect for renters is, did your landlord thank you when you paid his or her mortgage last month? And they go, what? And that's when you're able to say, well, you're paying a mortgage. You're just not paying your own. Because oftentimes you'll hear, oh, I can't afford the mortgage. You're paying a mortgage. You're just not paying your own. The other great question to ask, especially the timing on this is perfect. What happens by April? Taxes. When you ask someone who is currently renting, when they filed their taxes, how much of their rent was able to be written off? They're going to look at you like you have horns growing out of your head, because it's 0. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, when you're renting, you've got no write-off. When you are actually owning your own home and you're making the mortgage payment directly, then yes, a good portion of that payment, because it's interest, is tax deductible. I am amazed at how many renters do not know that. Is that a good tagline? Is that a good question to ask? You bet it is. Okay. So again, I would reference you back to geo-farming. I think it's on page 12. I list the 4 messages that are great for renters, and I also list the ones for non-owner occupied properties as well as the owner occupied. Okay, so I would reference and tag back to that. But here's 16 for you. So you don't even have to think. You just go, okay, which one of these do I like? And run with it. Okay, huh? Yeah, close your eyes and point. That'll work too. Okay, excellent. All right, we good on that? Take a deep breath. Give me a thumbs up. We're good. Next step in, you will need to determine whom you are going to invite. Now, oh look, I've given you a whole list. So we're going to start with, you're going to ask your sphere of influence, those in your database, which if you've listened to session 3 of Samson Jumpstart, and we talk about getting your database in order and flagging who is a renter versus who is a homeowner, here's why. Remember, I've told you from the very beginning, these puzzle pieces connect together. This is where that comes in handy. So if you have not done that yet, I would encourage you to go back, listen to the Samson Jumpstart session 3. Hopefully you've done all 4 and got those pieces together, because now all this stuff builds off of that. Okay, you see where I'm seeing some heads nods, so you're seeing where this is applies. Okay, so you're going to ask those in your sphere of influence who you hopefully have tagged as a renter. They're going to be on your list. You can also go to those that just are in your database that you know who have a home and say, hey, let me ask you a question. Who do you know that's currently renting? Now, we have often said in our Scripts and Conversation Starter class, one of the worst things you want to do is say, hey, who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling? Because unless they are psychic or psycho, both, okay, that too, they don't know what people are thinking. So when you ask, if you're going to ask a question like that, be very specific. Who do you know that is over the age of 50? Who do you know that's currently renting? Not a generic, who do you know that's thinking about whatever, because that doesn't work. Bullseye versus target. All right, so you can ask those that you know. Again, if you are, is anybody doing geofarming? Give me a thumbs up if you are. I got a couple that are popping up, okay? In what area you're geofarming, hopefully, if you've paid attention in the geofarming class, one of the things I ask you to do is to identify the renters versus the homeowners in there. You got it? Have you done that? I'm seeing heads nod, okay? Those renters that are in there, because if you don't know how to do that, you just go into your Bright, you run a search, you scroll down on the right-hand side. One of the questions it's going to be is owner occupied. If you don't mark it yes or no, it's going to give you everybody. If you mark it yes, it's going to give you only those that are owned or lived in by the owner. If you tell it no, it's going to identify the properties that are currently rented, which means the owner lives someplace else. Okay? So now you've identified the renters from your geo farm. Yes, they need to be on your invite list. You can add this to your voicemail. Hey, it's Lynn, your favorite realtor over at Samson Properties. Just wanted to let you know I've got a first-time homebuyer workshop coming up on the first Saturday of the month. If you know someone who's currently renting and wants to quit paying their landlord's mortgage, let me know. In the meantime, leave me a message. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. I'm getting some uh-huhs. Now, can you also add it to your website? Yes, because we figured out how to add a custom page. Duh. Okay, and I think I referenced that in how to leverage your free reports, newsletters. It's in there as well. Can you add it to your signature line of your email? Yes, you can. So you go into the customizing of your signature line. P.S. I've got my first-time homebuyer workshop coming up the first Saturday of the month. If you know someone who is renting, or if you're currently renting and tired of paying your landlord's mortgage, let me know. I can get you a ticket. Space is limited. Boom. Space is limited, which it is, creates a little bit of a sense of urgency. Okay? Can you post it on Facebook? Yeah. Yes, you can. Can you post it on any other social media platform you have? Yes, you can. Can you promote it at an open house, provided the price point of that open house would fall into a price point that would typically go with a first-time home buyer? Okay. If you're doing an open house at a 1.1 million, that's probably not a first-time home buyer, unless they just won the lotto. So you would want to go into your first-time home buyer price point of $500,000 and below and run with that one. Okay. Any questions, or we'll hold any questions about who to invite? You got it? You with me? Making sense? Break it down. All right. Next piece. You were going to pick the date and the time of it. Now, if you notice, when we did the special announcement, I asked if you would be willing to commit to 1 year. You will set, my recommendation is you will have the first Saturday of the month. It's easy to remember and it's easy to market. From 9 to 10. It is 1 hour and 1 hour only. Okay? Then you will pick another day during the week. We used to do Thursday in the evening from 6 to 7. 1 hour, 1 hour only. If they're coming home from work, they can stop in. That was the intent. They're in and out by 7 or 7:05, and at least they've got some information and they're ready to move on with their evening. Okay? Now, know your area. If you know that there's activities at a Y or at a field or a sports field or whatever, and you want to kind of know what's going on in your area, see if you can line up the home buyer workshop surrounding that as well. Okay?
Did you say you picked Saturday 4?
No, we used to do 2. I do Saturday morning, Thursday evening. Okay, so the question was, one or the other. We did both. That was just worked for us. So we give them a choice. Not what time do you want to meet? No. Every Saturday, the first Saturday of every month and the first Thursday of every month, because it's easy to flow off your tongue and it's easy to remember. That was what we found worked the best. Just saying. Okay? Now, first Saturday, 9 a.m. First Thursday, 6 p.m. Easy breezy. Determine the marketing options that you need to create. So, if you want to create a flyer, create a flyer. Can you do it in Word? Yes, you can. Can you do it in Publisher? Yes, you can. Can you do it in Canva? Yes, you can. I don't care if you color it, to be honest with you. All right? Nothing wrong with that. You got a kid, get them to create it. All right? It'll be unique and it'll stand out. There you go. So think about, okay, I need to create a flyer. How am I going to do the invitations? Is it going to be just social media posts? Am I going to send out postcards? Oh, wait, coming up in a couple pages, we even give you a sample of the postcard. Okay? Do you need to do an email blast? Probably you're going to, because again, if they're in your sphere and you've got an email address, yes, you want to send it out. Now, I would send it out to everyone in your SOI and ask them, do you know someone who's currently renting? Do you know someone who wants to paint? Do you know someone who's tired of paying a mortgage and not their own? Because they're going to identify somebody. That's who you're looking for. So in my opinion, you would want to make sure that you've got your social media post figured out. Can you do that in Canva and post it?
Yes.
Yes, you can. And if you don't know how to use Canva, we got some great classes available through Samson. Can you do text messages to people? Yes, you can. Can you do postcards to your farm? Yes, you can. Can you do flyers, say maybe at an open house or something? Yes, you can. Can you do an email blast? Yes, you can. Now, with the postcards, let me ask you this. How many of you ever go out and eat? Yeah, go out to a restaurant and eat. Okay, I don't care if it's a drive-through. Okay, how many of you go? Okay, I see all hands popping up. Do you have someone that serves you, or do you have to go to the kitchen and make it yourself and get your own water, get your own coffee, get your own drink, or is there a server? There's a server. Does a server live somewhere? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She did. Is that a potential? Okay, here's your challenge. If you're going to do this, next time you go to a restaurant, make sure you leave a postcard invitation for them. Drop the mic, boom, I'm done, walk away. Okay, see where we're going with this? I'm seeing some going on, okay? Now, again, you got social media, a text message, postcards to your farm, emails to your sphere of influence, and flyers. So those are the invitation options that you're going to need to think about real quick. Who do you invite to speak for no longer than 10 minutes? Okay? And this is timed. Yeah, again, you've told them 1 hour in and out. You better run a tight ship on this one. So, do we have lenders here at First Heritage? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that if you are doing a first-time homebuyer workshop, they might be interested in participating. Maybe. Just thinking outside the box. Now, I do have Title Cardinal on there. Now, disclaimer. They work basically Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or whatever. You can let them know you're doing it. I wouldn't expect them to come if you're doing a weekend or an evening. However, what I would go see them and ask them for is ways in which to hold title or the process of title, you know, what goes on behind the scenes. They've already got that stuff. Nice. And I'm seeing the heads nod. Okay. And y'all know why you nod your head this way, right? That way when it falls off, you can catch it. Okay. Nothing worse than it falling on the floor. So find out what information they have. Because is cardinal title your first go-to choice? You better all say yes real loud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. They're the best out there. I'm sorry. They're just darn good. All right. So home inspector. For a first-time home buyer, would it be important for them to understand why having a home inspection is important when they purchase? Oh, yeah. So invite your favorite home inspector. And if one can't come, you go to the next one. Okay? Home warranty. Does a first-time home buyer need to understand that A, there's even a home warranty available, and what it covers and what it doesn't? Yes. Okay? With me so far? All right. Now, here is what you're going to need to decide is how and where you're going to have them RSVP. You want to encourage them to RSVP because guess what? Space is limited. I don't care where you're at. Space is limited because you need to know how many are coming so you can be prepared with handouts, and because you need to make sure you got enough chairs set up. And if you're going to do light refreshment, which we're going to hit in a second, you want to make sure that you have some sort of head count for that as well. Okay? I see my head's nodding. All right. So who can tell me, for fun fact, what does RSVP stand for? Ooh.
Girl.
Say that again real loud. Where's our mic? Yes. Okay. Yep. It basically is a French phrase that means, please let us know you're coming. Okay. And I'm not even going to try to repeat that. She did it beautifully. We'll have it down the mic in a minute. Okay, so figure out, where do you want them to RSVP? Do you want to send them to a landing page connected on your website that they need to fill out with just, name, address, phone number, email address? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to email you? Okay, calling is probably the worst option. You can have them text you. You can have them email you. You can have them go to a safe landing page on your website. You just want to be able to give them a safe haven at midnight because they just got off at 11 and came home, and they all of a sudden go, yeah, oh my gosh, I need to RSVP. You want to give them a safe haven in which to go do that. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. Excellent. Now, whoops, let me go back. So you've got your date and times figured out. You've got the location figured out. Now, where can you hold these events? Good question. I'm going to give you some ideas. You can do it at the office. Now, here's what I'd recommend. If you're in, Jenny, what office are you in? Frederick, Maryland. I would find out who in your office, wink, wink, who else might be interested in doing these. So you can get 5 or 10 other agents to all pull together to do it at the same time. Okay? Because you may only get 1 or 2, she may only get 1 or 2, he may get 5. All of a sudden we got a nice little group. You do not need to do them alone while you're building it out. Now, if you get to the point that you're filling a room of 30, then yeah, go ahead and do them yourself. Carolyn and I did because we had them coming in. So keep that in mind. You can partner with others at your office. Obviously, you need to make sure that the space is available, and do them at the office. If there's a restaurant that has a back room, you could do it there. Sometimes there's libraries that have office space or a little conference room space. You could do it there. Your home, probably not so much. Okay? Now, worst scenario, could you do it by Zoom or a GoToMeeting? Absolutely. Especially if weather decides to take a funky turn and we're snowed in and you've got it planned. No problem. Which is why, again, we talk about putting these pieces together. This is one of the reasons, because I knew this was coming, that I encouraged everyone to go back in the early jump start of 1 or 2 is to set up a Zoom or GoToMeeting platform so you knew how to do it, how to get the link, how to send it out. This is why. Because if you're going to do it 5 minutes before the event is not the time to try to figure out how to set it up. Do you need a PowerPoint? Yes, you do. It is pretty easy. And I'll even help do a PowerPoint and drop it into Cardinal, into resources for you. Okay, you can customize it to your heart's content. Because if you're a low SC on the disk profile, you want it, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to create it. There you be. Okay. Is this all making sense? Okay. Mucho. So during the event, how is it going to flow? You will have a handout or a program, and your S's and C's are going, shoot, I need to create what? No, you don't need to create nothing. I already have it for you. For those that are here with me, it is the back side or the back portion of your packet. All right? Now, we're going to talk about this for a couple minutes. I don't care if you use this one verbatim. I don't care if you go, Lynn, I hate it, I'm going to create my own. Knock yourself out. I don't care if you take the information and put it into, a beautiful Canva background platform. Whatever hits your hot button. But to start with, you can just run with this. All you need to do, obviously, where it says your contact information in the footer, you click into the footer, that's where your contact information goes. Where it says presented by, that space there, that's where your information would go. It starts with this. Yeah. It should be in your packet. Okay? After page 6, okay? So you've got a cute little cover with your contact information. Flip it over. On that page 2 of the packet handout, it says, welcome to the Samson Properties Home Buyer Seminar. Again, you can call it a seminar, you can call it a workshop, you can call it a buy home part, you can call it whatever you want. Okay, however it flows and feels comfortable for you. What we will cover today, we're going to talk about the state of the market. Does it make financial sense to buy? Common mistakes buyers make. What does a realtor really do for you? Lender, no, they are not all the same. And then the next step, you're going to talk to them briefly about how they're going to search for a home. Next step is how the offer and everything goes in. The next step is obviously key services that you need to have, they need to have at the ready, and since you're the expert, you will have those resources for them. And then the last component or piece of that puzzle is how the settlement process goes, okay? So that's just kind of a quick agenda. Again, your high Ds are just ready to go, start shooting out information. Your S's want to make sure that they're going to have a good time, but the S's and the C's want to know what's coming. Do not miss this part of it. Again, they're going to look at it, you're going to highlight it real quick, and then you're going to jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to pretend like we're at the home buyer seminar. First thing I want to talk to you about is the current status of the market. First off, don't believe everything you hear on TV. There'll usually be a giggle in the class or a couple of nods. What you will need to do, and you can see I've left some blanks there, little lines. You will go in based off your area and run a search, hopefully the day before you print these, obviously, in the MLS to see how many homes are currently on the market in that zip code. And what is the starting price point? What is the max? So you can tell them the current market in the zip code 11240 has 173 homes on the market. Starting price point is this, high-end price point is this. This gives you an opportunity to share with them for a minute, whether you're in a buyer's market or a seller's market and what that means, because they don't know. You're giving them a 30,000-foot snapshot. You're not getting into every little detail and every little question, okay? Then you're going to talk to them quickly about whether it makes sense to rent or to buy. The little chart that is in there, look at that. If they are paying $2,500 a month for rent, that's $30,000 a year. Over 5 years, it's $150,000. But over 15 years, it's $450,000. And you got nothing to show for it as a renter. So that's usually that chart, because again, we're all visual. Bomb. That's a biggie. If you remember in the class we talked about in the buyer consultation, we talked about the fact that people are the D, the I, the S, and the C, all of the above. We're either visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learners. This is why they need to hear it, see it, and be able to touch it. That's why. Because you don't know what they are and you can't give them a DISC profile assessment before they come into the event. Well, you can, but it's usually not a good thing, okay? So you've given them some information about what the market is currently doing. Now, the other reason it's nice to have that zip code is, and you can do multiple zip codes, you know, if you're in an area that they're kind of all nestled up together, because they may be thinking they want to live in Alexandria. But if the starting point in Alexandria, and again, I'm just making up the numbers for the example, but if the starting price point in Alexandria is $750,000 and they're only in the $500,000 range, that may not be a neighborhood that they're able to start in. And I've actually had a client one time when I did a consultation with her, she gave me the list of the 3 areas she was interested in, and they were all way over the price point of where she could get started at. So again, you're not telling them, you're showing them. They can see it and go, oh, maybe I need to rethink another area, okay? The next thing you're going to hit with them really quickly is common mistakes that buyers make. Oh, look, it's right there for you. They don't ask enough questions, or more important, they don't even know what questions to ask, which is why when I work with clients, I want to make sure that you understand what's going on. I'm going to give you a lot of information. Most of the information will be in writing for you. And also during my buyer's full consultation, I'm going to answer a lot of the questions that you're not even able to think that need to be asked yet. So you're reassuring them, you got them. I got you, okay? I'm not going to take advantage of you, but I got you. I got information for you. Another common mistake that especially first-time home buyers make is they have an unrealistic expectation of the market, because they heard that 3 years ago this and this was happening, or 2 years ago this was happening. It doesn't matter. We need to take a look at what's happening right now. So again, you're going to get them back in. Another common mistake is they don't do enough to make their offer look appealing to a seller. Now, I think I've shared this one before, and again, I'm just going to share it with you guys for a side giggle. A couple years ago when, you know, a property went on the market and within 30 seconds you had 2,500 offers. Slight exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Okay. I had an agent call me and said he needed some help. He was dual career. Never came to any of the education options that were available. And he was going to write an offer, and he was going to ask for closing costs and was going to come in $5,000 or $10,000 below the list price. I busted out laughing. I mean, good thing we were on the phone. I would have done it in person anyway. I knew him for a long time. I started laughing. And I said, dude, really? They're not even going to look at it. I said, they've already got 20 offers in. And I bet you dollars to donuts, they're all over list price. And they're not asking for anything. Oh, he didn't know that. I said, all you got to do is go into the MLS, look at what has happened in the last 30 days. What the list price was, what the sold price was. You're going to see that everything that's sold over the list price and how long the property were on the market. Oh, he didn't know that. I'm just saying. So, a little education there is always a good thing. So, you can share with them that since you know what's going on in the marketplace, when you get to that point that you're actually going to sit down to write an offer, you're going to refresh of what has changed, if anything, and you are going to guide them on what they need to do to make a strong, competitive offer. Got it? Got it. Because trust me, they all know somebody that put in 15 offers and none of them got accepted. There you go. All right? Next page over in your handout. Again, this I pulled straight from the buyer and seller consultation, is you're going to share with them what your professional promise to them is, and basically it also addresses the why should they hire a realtor versus trying to do it on their own. Okay? There you have it. Pick out 2 or 3 things on there that are important to you. Make sure you type your name where that's type your name here and sign. Type your name there before you print it out, and then I always like to sign it with a different color ink so they know it was a fresh signature, a wet signature they call it, versus one that was just typed out. Okay? So you hit 2 or 3 things off that page. Next page over. So where do we start? First thing we need to know is, what is your purchasing power? What are you able to purchase? And I want to know what you're qualified for, but I also want to know from my lender what you're comfortable with, because those can be slightly 2 different numbers. So I would let them know that that was something that I'm going to ask. And with any luck, you have our in-house lender, a representative from First Heritage Mortgage with you that will take 5 minutes, and you let them know ahead of time. They have 5 minutes. Okay, you give them 7 or 8. That's for questions. But they have basically 5 minutes to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. You're not going into all the full-blown details. You're just doing an introduction. They talk about maybe why it's important to go with a lender versus going with their bank. Again, we got a newbie here. So just giving them some basic information and not overwhelm them. So if they wrap it up with, if you determine that now is the time you seriously want to start looking, then when you meet with me, I will send you a list of documents that you will need to have pulled and prepared so that I can do my job and get you ready. Okay? So that is including the lender in there as well, and having that as an important piece of that puzzle. Because again, 99.9% of the time, they do not even know who to turn to. Hey there! Look who came to visit.
How you doing?
My Donnie. Hi.
Good.
See,
How
we
are
go
you?
this way. We go this way.
I'm gonna steal this York peppermint patty.
Yeah, you can. I'll let you.
How's Lynn doing so far?
Fantastic.
Good. Okay, excellent. All right. Oh, we got pictures.
Yeah, we do.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I
Good.
spy back there, but I like to sneak up on you from the back so you don't know when it's coming.
Yeah.
I think if I come from back there, she'll see me coming.
I see you coming in. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you get
So,
back to teaching. Hello,
yeah.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna go get lunch. After I steal this York peppermint patty.
You can have. Wait. Ready. Boom! Thank you, Donnie. Okay. I always like it when he pops in. Always makes me, it's nice. So, again, the purpose of the Home Buyer Workshop is to just kind of give them the 30,000-foot view of what's going to be happening, how it's going to flow. So, again, with any luck, you've got your lender there. If you cannot get the lender there, make sure that you've got a couple of pieces of paper from them to embed into this. With me? Give me a thumbs up. We're all good? Nobody's head ready to explode? Awesome. All right. Next page over in your handout is the difference of pre-qualification versus pre-approvals. Let them know. And this one I love, the cart before the horse. This lets them know why it is important to talk to a qualified lender not some online source that says, can you breathe, I'll get you $1 million. Allowing them to understand they've got to get the loan information in place before you can actually go shopping. Okay? That explains that. Next up, on the next page over, which is page 7 of the little handout packet that you'll be giving to them, or your agenda for the event, is next we're going to present I'm going to present with you a buyer consultation. And if you have not listened to the buyer consultation class, I would encourage you to go back and listen to it, study it, print it out, rehearse it with another agent if you need to, and then you're ready to present and feel comfortable. I should be able to wake you from a dead sleep and say, game on, let's go, buyer consultation, start now. And you should have it in such second nature flow, you are on. Who can do that? Okay, I got a couple hands. Guess who's calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning? I'm just kidding.
I don't even know what I say at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. All right, and here's the point. We want you to be comfortable with the material so you can flow. And the more you do it, the better you get, the easier it is. Right now, it may scare the bahookie out of you. But once you start doing it a couple times, you can do it in your sleep, and I can wake you at 2 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, I'm usually asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not going to do that, unless my dogs wake me up, okay? So you let them know what's going to come next. So next thing that's going to happen is you and I will schedule a time where we can go through a buyer consultation. We're going to take a look at your wants and needs, start putting this all together. Now, then the next step is, once I know what your purchasing power is, I've done the buyer consultation with your wants and needs, now I can start my job and search the market for what's available for you. They go, got it, okay. I always throw this in there as well, and this is a good place to start, is don't go alone. I remind them that if they're going to go to an open house, a new build, or a for sale by owner, they need to make sure that they have my business card stapled to their forehead. Thumbtack work as well. I would offer to do that for them. They would usually laugh. I used to actually give them a couple of business cards with a clip or a paper clip, and I would attach it to their shirt. They laughed, but then I found out one went into an open house, had it clipped on. I thought, dang, that was good. Okay? Have fun with your people. It's all good. So again, just letting them know. If they by chance are driving around, they find a for sale by owner, jot down the address and the phone number, or take a picture of the sign that's out front. Usually it's for sale by owner with a phone number. Send it to you, and you will make the contact information. And why is that important too? Because you need to ask key questions to that homeowner that's selling on their own if they are planning on offering the brokerage compensation. Keywords there. You're not asking them if they're going to offer an agent commission, because it doesn't come to you anyway. It goes to the brokerage, correct? There you go. Okay, and again, we have whole conversations of how to handle that. But at least you're letting the people at your seminar know. Boom. Then the next step would be, once we find a place that meets your needs based off the criteria that you have given me, and we go ahead and get ready to we go through the offer. We may need to do counter offers. There's the acceptance. Once all parties agree, there's the ratification, and then the process really gets underway. That is where you would then share with them the information about title or from the title company. Again, just quick basics. Let them know that it's coming. And then home inspector and home warranty. If you have a home inspector there, again, they get 3 to 5 minutes, because they'll take 7 to 8. Okay, but let them know they have 3 to 5 minutes. So they need to be prepared, being short and sweet and to the point, basically what they're looking for. They're, a little bit about the home inspection process and why that's important, okay? Because just like a car, there's dings and dents in it. So you want to make sure that you're getting everything that's needed of information. You talk briefly about the home warranty. Again, if you've got a home warranty rep there, you give them 3 to 5 minutes. And if not, you make sure you have a handout in the packet and let the people attending the workshop know that when you get to this point, you're going to make sure that they understand the value of having a home warranty. Because granted, can an appliance break down anytime? We don't know how the previous owners, how rough they were with their appliances. I don't know that the dishwasher was ran every other day. I don't know that it was only ran once a month. You typically don't know those things. Same thing like a new car. You could buy a new car. Can you get a flat tire on the way home? If you hit something in the road, you can. So you just never know. So it's kind of a insurance. Again, also make sure they understand that if the property has some TLC that's needed, I hear agents do this and I just want to choke them out. Oh, don't worry, you can get a home warranty and then we can get everything covered and replaced. Really? No. So don't lie to your clients or potential clients. And if you don't know much about a home warranty, you go get the packets that are out there and you read it. You read it. What does it cover? What does it not cover? Okay? I just found out from a friend that the heating and air conditioning system was having a glitch, and it was covered only because the fine print in the contract stated that it would be covered if they could prove an annual maintenance service on the appliance. I'm going to lay you $5. Most agents don't know that, and most agents don't know to relay that to clients. Just saying. Okay. So that kind of is, that part you're letting them see who else is involved in the transaction, because when they hire you, they hire the whole team of people that come behind you. And then, so we've found out what your purchasing power is. We've gone out and we've done your needs assessment. We found a property that you love. We go ahead and get an offer in, get it accepted, get it ratified, get the process started. We've got the lender on board. We've got the title on board. We've got the home inspection coming up. We've got a home warranty being considered. Are there HOA docs that need to be reviewed? Not just they need to understand, in Virginia, it is a due diligence. The buyer needs to do their due diligence, and they need to read those HOA docs. Yes, they are boring at times, but they need to understand and know what's going on. So that is important for them to know, that they're going to be reading stuff that's going to make them want to go to sleep. So, all right. And then settlement, give them a quick overview of what happens, in the settlement process, and then you're able to congratulate them and get them the keys to their new home. All right. There's a lot of other pieces of the puzzle that go in between all those steps, but it gives them the overview. And yes, from start to finish, it can be done in an hour. Because again, you make sure you've either got a clock up or a timer somewhere where you can monitor. You've promised them an hour, you keep it in an hour. Because the minute it goes over, you can go over a couple minutes, but once it starts going 20 minutes or more over, you've absolutely lost them. Because they've made arrangements to go do something else or to go get dinner. If they've come from work, from your 6 to 7, they're now hungry, blood sugar is dropping. Yeah, no, Now, because you know who came in, one of the last things you're going to do is allow a couple minutes at the end. Yes, you have a page here for notes. Who likes to take notes? Your S's and your C's. So you give them a space in which to take a note if they are so inclined to do so. On the back of this, now when you print this, this will be on its own sheet. Okay? When I ran these through the printer, it came up on the back side of this one. But when you actually print these out, it will be on its own sheet because you're going to have them fill it out and take it back. You want to know what questions did they have that the seminar answered. It lets you see if you're missing something important. You're going to ask them, what did you learn from the lender that you didn't know? What did you learn from the presentation that you didn't know? What questions or concerns were not answered, in case we missed something? And again, they'll tell you. They will absolutely tell you. And then it's their other contact information. Now, with any luck, you've already got their contact information. If you're really good, you can do a fun drawing for a $10 or $20 Sheetz gift card or Wawa gift card. They can get a coffee and a gallon of gas. You're supposed to laugh. Okay. You're laughing inside. Okay, that works. But it engages with them as well. All right? So there you have it. All right. There you go. So the event is finished. And then what comes after the event? Follow up. If you are not going to follow up, give me the paperwork and I'll follow up. And no, I won't give you a referral fee. All right? But the follow-up afterwards is just as critical as the prep going into it. Again, I'm going to ask you to commit to 1 year of doing these. It is not a one and done. It is not a, well, I invited 30 people and no one came. It was Super Bowl weekend. Are you kidding me? You know, somebody did that one time. When they scheduled it, Super Bowl Sunday, they sent out 30 invitations and they got cranky because no one showed. If you bought them beer and nachos at the sports bar, they probably would have come. All right. So again, it's the repeat because these people's lives are going to get, crazy just like everybody else's. They may miss the first one, but they may want to catch the second one. And if they know it's the first Saturday of every month, now, if you look at your calendar and you realize that all 12 of your kids have a birthday that falls on the first Saturday of every month, do not schedule it then unless you want a divorce. All right? So, yeah, someone's over here going, okay. So look at your calendar. If that doesn't work for you, second Saturday of the month. But whatever it is, keep it consistent because that way you can promote it as ongoing. You start moving dates around, you've lost your momentum. Okay? All right. So the follow-up afterwards is obviously critical. The ones that attended are the ones you'll want to follow up with. The ones that weren't able to make it will get I'm so sorry you weren't able to make it. I am doing this. It was, so by popular demand, it's back. I'm going to do it again first Saturday of next month, 9 to 10 at this location. Pencil it in on your calendar, and I look forward to meeting you then. Let me just give you 1 hour of information, and then you're done. Okay? So that is how you kind of do the before, the during, and then the after. Now, once you've got it done, rinse and repeat. Once you got it done, rinse and repeat. Once you got it done, rinse and repeat. Okay? It's the consistency of building it out. And the 4 messages that are recommended on, again, it's in the geofarming class, page 12, I think of the handout. It gives you the 4 options for, marketing messages. You don't need to look up anything else. If you're not the one that wants to do research and come up with your own, great, they're already mapped out for you. Okay? So it's the repetitive. Oh yeah, it's the first Saturday of every month. I want to go to that. We missed it the last couple of months. Oh, guess what? We just found out that our landlord's going to jack our rent up through the roof, so maybe let's go find out if this is worth it or not. Okay? You see where we're repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay? All right. So on your handout, we have the chameleon. Part of what you need to do, as we discussed in DISC, is become that chameleon. You don't know if they're visual or auditory or kinesthetic. You don't know if they're a D, an I, S, or C. But this hits all 4 personality styles, and it hits all 3 learning styles. So be careful if you want to change it. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, thinking I don't need to do it that way. I don't want to do it. There is some logic behind it. Now, the Follow the Yellow Brick Road. We used to have some fun because where our office was, the room that we did the workshop in was from the office just kind of across the patio area. So we took and made like the lines so it looked like a bricks. We printed it on yellow paper, and then we would tape the paper down on the floor to take them to Follow the Yellow Brick Road. You could do it in almost all your offices, from the front door to wherever your place is going to be. Restaurant probably can't pull that off too well, but have some fun with it as well. If you have a creative idea, run with it. So it's okay. Now, refreshments. You do not want to spend a lot of money on refreshments. Again, they're in and out in an hour. What we found that worked the best is we would go and have a cute basket. Dollar Tree's got some really cute baskets, the little handles on them that it's easy to move around. And we would have grab and go snacks in them, whether it be the chips or the cookies or the granola bars or the Nutri-Grain bars, whatever it was. And then we'd have the little bottles of water. And then sometimes obviously in the morning we would get the coffee. Simple, simple, simple. Because what doesn't get used at this one, no problem, rolls over to the next one. Doesn't get all used up at that one, you just restock the blank spots and bring it to the next one. Because when you start bringing food in, if it doesn't get consumed, A, it becomes expensive, but also two, you find that you got to eat it. And sometimes your vendors will say, hey, I'll bring something in. If they want to, they can do that, right? You with me so far? Okay, I'm seeing heads going, I'm getting this, okay? So, just like the buyer and the seller consultations, you need to become that chameleon. You need to understand that there are learning styles that you don't know about, there's personality styles you don't know about yet. This will hit all of them. So, on the last page of your handout, on page 5, it has a sample of a postcard. Obviously, your Samson logo up in there. Again, quick reminder, if you are going to use a clip art, Canva has clip art that you can legally use. If you are going to go in and create your own, make sure you're using Pixabay or another royalty-free platform that will get you clip art that you can legally use. Okay, so make sure, and we discussed that heavily in Jumpstart Session 2. Just make sure you're pulling correct. Free Home Buyers Workshop, you can call it a seminar, you can call it a workshop, you can call it whatever you want. Seating is limited. Reserve your spot today. RSVP, how do you want them and where do you want them to RSVP to? And then put the date and the time, someday, March 35th. Got it. Okay, you got it. I did that intentionally. All right, so, and from 9 a.m. To 10 a.m., come learn about. Boom, boom, boom. You got the 3 to 4. 3 is always the best because, again, it's quick, it's quick, it's quick. It's bullet points that they can read real fast. Excuse me. Samson Property, your name, your title, the address of where the event is going to be at. And then on the back side of that postcard, obviously the mailing address. Join us for a free, no obligation home buyers workshop. If you're dreaming of a new home or tired of paying your landlord's mortgage, come see if now is the time to consider buying. You're invited by, your name on there, and then you ask them to please bring that card with them as their ticket in the door. Okay? Why would that also be important? You know where they got it from. Okay? And then again, if you're doing multiple agents together, which I, again, would encourage you to do, you know who came in from who. And if by chance they don't do the little survey, you now still know who came. Because if the postcard was mailed and printed, it's got their information on there. Okay? Make sense? Yeah. Easy breezy. Okay. So there is the before, the during, the after, the rinse, and repeat. Before, during, after, rinse, repeat. Okay? There is too much good information that is being brought to you every sales meeting that agents are not knowing about, and I'm just sitting there going, really? Just saying. Okay, don't miss them. All right, another great piece of the puzzle that Samson brings to all of you is the mastermind classes. David does a phenomenal job. I know sometimes he's had to be out and asked me to pitch hit for him. They're a great group of people, great ideas, great sharing back and forth. Information is on the Cardinal Nest on the calendar for you. Please check into it. It's based off your production price point. Do not miss them either. Check them out. The other, I'm smitten with this man, and I'm going to give him a call because I'm going to go meet him. It's Coffee with Casey. It is done on a podcast on YouTube. It's Thursday. I think it's 10:30 to 11. You can catch it on replay. And he's got some great tips and information in there. Again, if you're driving, if you're cleaning the toilet in the bathroom or doing the dishes, I don't care. Pop that baby on and listen to it. Okay, he's got some good stuff in there. It's also, I think, available in Samson University. So, drop the mic. There you have it. There's what we got. As always, your database is full of gems. It is a powerful piece of your business. So much of the specialty stuff, of the 4 pillars, the 4 marketing pillars you want to develop out, are going to stem from that database. So know that that is an active, breathing backbone to your business. Be the Uncola. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Do what other agents are too lazy to do. The market that we're in, the market that we're going in, the market that we're going to be in, the low-hanging fruit is not there if you just walk by and slap and it pops off. Okay, you're going to have to roll your sleeves up, dig in the dirt a little bit, master your skills, be intentional with where you're wanting your marketing pillars to go, and dig in and get to work. And I know a lot of agents want the money, but they don't want the work. They want the success, but they don't want the work. Well, guess what? None of those things come before work except in the dictionary. I've looked in dictionaries. All the discipline, the structure, the skills, the commitment, all of that stuff comes before work. All right? Think outside the box. Remember, I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. Okay? So, with that, we've got our microphone back there and ready. Let's start over on this side. We're going to do the AHA takeaways. As always, I want to hear from you. What was your AHA? What was your takeaway? You don't get a pass. You don't get a pass. No, you're here. Okay. What was your AHA? What was your takeaway? And then you can pass the mic on to the next one.
Oh my God. So thank you very much for this great class. And so my thing is that the nice thing that you put together, so make us very easy to create a first-time home buyer seminar, because we have everything here in this what they call these pages.
Packet.
So if we don't do it, it's because we don't really want to do, but this is my AHA. How you put everything together and so make our life very easy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Samson.
I did my job then, because that's what I hope to do, is bring it to you methodically, step by step. Okay, share with your AHA takeaway.
In my early days as a realtor, I was didn't know much and I wanted to do everything. So I partnered with one of the non-profit organization and hosted a first-time home buyer seminar.
Oh, there you go.
With them. That was back in 2011, 12, 13, that time. Yeah, I have to do that in a different way.
Yeah.
I used to make a presentation saying that, like, roof types, all those kind of small tiny details. But now, I've grown, and this is a really good reference. It'll take me to the next level. I can now claim myself as a first-time homebuyer consultant expert in my marketing too.
Woohoo! There you go.
Yeah, and I have only one question for you too. Yeah, it is when you say RSVP, all this thing. Can you do a Facebook event and RSVP in the Facebook itself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can have them RSVP any way you want. Just figure out how do you want them to RSVP and run with it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for the wonderful
You're
class.
welcome. You're welcome. Hand it on back there.
My aha moment were the different tips that you gave for the, the timings, like every Saturday at a certain time, how you schedule it, that works, and just different places where you can hold it, like the library. I never thought about that, and a restaurant in a room. Never thought about that, and I'm looking forward to the one.
Good. And partner with agents from your office. Do it together. All right, Ms. Lourdes, good to see you back.
Thank you. I miss being here. My AHA was searching the MLS for non-owner occupied properties. And I also, in terms of the spaces, I have done workshops in, just FYI, community centers and schools, and they allow me to advertise within the school or within the community center. So that draws a lot more people. but that means you have a lot of people.
Yep. Oh, gosh darn. You have a full house. That'd be a bad problem to have.
Sometimes.
Excellent. That's a great suggestion as well. Thank you.
So this has been a really good refresher for me because I was consistent on it, but you're right, consistency is key, and I fell off on doing these a while back. But getting back into it, I'm really ready to commit to it, and then having them regularly, so that way I can gain more people out there. And the good thing about it is kind of like my tagline sort of is, I'm doing this, I'm not a homeowner as of yet, so I'm preaching this with my clients, and they see that I'm working toward my goal. So that makes them even more like, okay, she's working toward her goal as a realtor, and now she's helping us. So it ties in really well. So I appreciate the refresher. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yay.
Thank you for doing this, Lynn.
You're welcome.
My aha moment was the French RSVP meeting because I'm French and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So thank you. But most seriously, I think the consistency, the scheduling, and in terms also of structuring the information in a very succinct manner and having all the vendors have their own time, I think that takes a lot of work. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, amazing. So I have my handouts. It's full of different notes. So thank you so much. My haha moment, is a tagline actually. When you said, did your landlord thank you for paying his mortgage this month? So I'm definitely going to use that. I have conducted a first-time home buyer seminar in the past, but I've not been consistent. So being consistent is actually the key, and I'm willing to be committed moving forward doing that. I do have a question, though, if you don't mind. During, you mentioned something about, like events in the area. You said to incorporate this first-time home buyer seminar with events in the area, and I didn't quite catch that. How can you do that or organize that?
So let's say you're going to do it and on Saturday morning, and you know that there's a baseball field down the road, and you're going to be doing it at a church, or you're going to be doing it at a rec center or whatever. You could, if you are able to post a sign up that says first-time home buyer seminar, this Saturday, this time to this time, and post it out for those that are driving their kids back and forth to the play field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am. Grab the mic. There you go.
As events in the area, you know that I work with the community a lot, and I was in the schools a lot. So one of the things that I do with events in the area is I find out what's going on in the schools. I was in school. So when they have like a professional fair, they have workshops for what do you want to be when you grow up. So I pair up with the school to have somebody talk about being a realtor, and that's not me, and somebody talk about how to buy your house or how to invest.
Career
in real
day.
estate.
Career days at school are awesome. Yeah, middle school,
that's
high
my
school,
school
even
is
elementary
about
sometimes.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Lynn, for teaching us.
You're welcome.
So my aha is when you showing them the number of the money they are paying for someone else, not for them.
Yeah,
not for them.
that visual is pretty powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
That's I
welcome.
got
You're welcome.
to use for the next.
Yeah. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Did we get everybody back there? Who's back there? Iris? Hello.
Thanks, Lynn,
You're
for
welcome.
teaching us. My aha moment is not only you going to the seminar, but using other people's power. That you have the lenders, the title, home inspector, and other realtors as a team. So I think that really brings not only you, but the rest is the synergy that get together. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, can we pass the mic over to this side? Thank you all.
Thank you for this class. I've been trying, in my mind, I've been saying I'm going to host seminars for the past 2 years, and I haven't. So this was a confirmation when I saw this class on Carter Lynette. I'm like, God, if this is you, I'm coming. So I'm here.
I'm so glad.
Thank you for all of that.
You're welcome.
I guess my aha moment was the program that you hand out. I was struggling with, do I give out my books, right? My home buying booklets, or do I make my own? By the way, do you do that? Do you do your own booklets, or do you just give this out as a printout?
Basically, I give this out as a printout.
Okay.
And again, you can put it in any format that you want. You can put it in the plastic sheets with a little slip thing on the side. You can put it in a prong folder. It's too small to go in the little 3-ring binders. So you can staple it. Frankly, I used to put them in either the colored pronged folders that kids use in school, or I would get the plastic sheet with the little slider on the side. Spoiler alert, Dollar Tree oftentimes have them. You get 3 for $1.25. Nice. Can't beat that. So again, however you want to present it is better than not having anything at all. So, and again, it doesn't replace your buyer consultation that we do down the road. It's a getting started point.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That sounds more cost effective.
Yes, it does.
So I'll do the printouts, and then you said aha moment, and then what was the other one?
Kind of your takeaway. So what are you going to grab and run with?
Yeah, the whole thing, honestly, but definitely the consistency of how every month doing these seminars twice a month. My biggest fear was, what if nobody show up? And I'm extra. I want to feed everyone, but then what if no one shows up? So
yeah, and sometimes you may have a month that no one shows up.
Yeah.
Or if one shows up, it's still showtime. You know.
Yes.
But if
Okay.
Okay, yeah. If you get donuts, there's leftovers, call Aladdin. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you so much.
But see, that's why we recommend the grab-and-go bags. You know, just a big basket. Of course, everyone's, germs in now. But you can still just grab and go. And again, if you don't use it all, because you probably won't, then you just bring it in for the next round. So much more cost-effective.
I just want to thank you, Lynn. The class was awesome.
You're welcome.
So this is my first time I've been here. I am a new agent. Only been in the business for about a year.
Oh, good.
So my aha moment
Woohoo!
is also about the rent, how much you pay.
Mm-hmm.
But also I have not been consistent and really have gotten off my butt to work at this. I'm one of those people that I want it to come to me. But now that I have Jenny here, that's pushing me, and I have other other agents I can work with. So I just need to get up and start doing it.
And
be
guess
consistent.
what? You signed in.
I know I signed in.
I have your name and number now.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And I've watched you on some of the classes on the Samson universities. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And they're all very helpful. I mean, they give you everything to get your business going. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
And do it every day.
Yep. And
So
thank you for saying that too, because that was the whole intent behind all of this. I've trained over 4,000 agents so far. And I got tired of seeing agents coming in the front door and out the back, not knowing what to go to. Their company said, "Oh, we have 300 hours of training." Well, that's all well and good, but if you don't know how to put it together in order, you got nothing. And so I did the introduction, and I think it's in Samson University. It's just Google my name, introduction. It's about a 5-minute. How and why I was so passionate about putting these sessions together in order and methodical. And asking or telling an agent what to do is one thing, but actually giving them the handout where all they got to do is add their name to it and do a copy and paste and go is the separation. And again, that's why I always close out with I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. And when I have agents that have been in this business 20, 25 years, that'll come to me and say, "Oh my God, that was, I've never seen anybody present it like this before. It never made sense. I now get it. I'm back on track. And I'm able to watch their business blossom and grow." I'm a happy camper. So,
because at the end of the day, like I said, I did have transactions last year. I had 4 transactions.
Okay.
And then things have slowed down. And then I'm like, do I just give up? Like,
no.
They say you got to, okay.
Uh-uh.
They say you got to do 2-3 years. Like, you got to stick with it. So I'm going to stick with it.
Very good. And my Thursday's Q&A, jump in anytime. Would love to have. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Well, Lynn, like you just said, the way that you order the classes, I loved how this fed on top of, I believe it was one of the jump starts where you did the buyer consultation. So having that background and knowing how you've ordered that and then seeing how it goes into this too and how they'll play off each other was really great. And one of my ahas, I love that you did the wedding expos specifically because you get that list of people who attended. So making sure you're targeting those kinds of events where you're going to get the list of attendees, not just going to an event where there's thousands of people and you're not going to necessarily get that information. So,
And
I
that
want
full
more information on
class
that.
will be coming up in the next 30 days. So.
Thank you, Lynn, for all of this great information.
Oh, you're welcome.
My main aha was probably the consistency is key. I mean, it always is, but I guess, for these kinds of things, I never really feel like doing it over and over again, monthly or every other week or however often you do it could be that beneficial, but it actually really is.
Yeah.
And then my takeaway is this awesome template that you've shared with us to customize for our own. So I love that. Thank you, because that gives us a lot of talking points and things to cover with the people. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Very good.
Yes, thank you very much. It's all very helpful. I would say that the aha for me is the consistency as well. I did one Zoom first-time home buyers with a lender, and it went great, but did not stay consistent. So that's a huge thing, as well as having all the vendors there. I like the home inspector. I wouldn't have thought of that probably, and just making sure you've got enough vendors there. I mean, there's so many vendors out there. You could even rotate them through or whatever.
Absolutely.
So love that. And then I love the packet of information that you would give to every person that comes. I just think that's very great that they have something that they can take with them. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Ms. Pat.
So like many people, I've done home buyer seminars before, but again, consistency.
One and done don't work.
So my takeaway is the taglines that you presented to us or gave to us, I'm thinking that I could also use it for social media postings or videos or something like that. My aha is to add the advertisements about the seminars in my signature block or voicemail.
Yep. Excellent. And what's it cost you to do an update on your voicemail? What's it cost you to do an update? Nothing. What does it cost you to do an update of your email signature? Nothing. Do y'all have a budget for free? You should. Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
For me, it's consistency, and this is almost for every class, regardless of what you're teaching. And thank you for this class again. I really appreciate this, small package. My plan was to attend a different brokerage seminar to get ideas, but I think I can just take this and make my own. I'm not the most creative person. I rather update somebody else's if I'm allowed to.
Yep.
And I think this is the only item left. One of the reasons I didn't start. I just didn't know what to present.
Now you do.
My plan was to do a Q&A for 1 hour. And then I was thinking, what if I don't know the answers for an hour? Okay, so that's too risky. So how about I take control and present for 30 minutes and do a Q&A, but then what do I present? I just had to kind of go back to somebody renting, what kind of questions they might have. But I think I'm just going to use this and update, and again, consistency, regardless of everything else I've learned today.
Consistency is the deal breaker in any of this. In any of your 4 marketing pillars, consistency is, because again, you may have a month that nobody comes. Big deal. Next. You got the next month. You just promote it, and then you may get 20 that show up. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. It's all good. All right. I'll add.
Two quick ahas, if I can say it. One, the first one for me was that demographic information, average age of the first-time home buyer. That's a huge piece of our business, that huge demographic group. And of course, these young folks that make a lot of money by commercial real estate too. So anyway, that's another story. And the other thing that was an aha for me, I love that crayon idea.
Oh, get your kids to create the flyer or color it?
Because then they're going to want to do what they want to do. I got to do it. It'll look like a kid.
Yeah.
You use a crayon.
Yeah. Or you put a house on there with a first-time home buyer and let them color it.
Right. I love that idea. So
something that stands out. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Lots of stuff. hadn't even thought of having a speaker. So it's like, yeah, that takes a lot of pressure off too. And this is going to sound nuts, the keep it at an hour. I felt like I'd be ripping people off that they're only getting an hour, but you put in the whole new perspective that they don't want to be there longer than an hour.
No.
So that really helps, just that limitation on anything I'm intimidated by. Like Alexandra said, well, you know, what if they ask something I don't know? Well, there's going to be so much information that there won't be time for that. So this is a total career changer, Lynn. Thank you. You're
welcome.
This is 2023, new stuff. Thank you.
And y'all that are wanting to commit, just for the record, for those that are looking at the recording or on replay, this is middle of January. You will be doing your first one in March.
Okay.
Just saying. Okay.
That's great.
Thank you for all of that. And again, you've got all these potentials. The purpose of this workshop seminar is to get the funnel flowing. Okay? Who is serious and ready to take action now? And again, you may have someone that comes to the seminar that says, okay, this is great, but 6 months down the road, my credit sucks, whatever. Your lender, First Heritage, has plans available to help someone get their credit in check to be able to be ready to buy in 6 months, in 9 months. And here's the question that, again, your comeback. If they say, well, I'm not ready to buy for 6 months, well, great, but in 6 months, you're still going to need a roof over your head. Let's get started now on the basics. You're not going to go show homes. You're going to have them talk to a lender, see if there's anything they need to do in order to prepare to improve or polish up or spit shine up their FICO score. Do they have the financial reserve they need? Now you know. Okay? All righty. With that, as always, thank you so much for taking your time to be here with me today. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And for those that are watching it online, remember, if you are wanting to commit to this, email me, lhamilton@samsonproperties.net, and let me know you are wanting to commit to 8 weeks of the Q&A on Mondays at 1, and commit to doing a homebuyer workshop for the next year. 1 a month, 2 a month, but at least for the next year, you're willing to commit to it. With that, we will see you at the next class. All righty. Bye for now.